Hello, welcome back. This is Words and Other Good Ideas, and today I am reviewing The Hero of Ages, the final book in the Mistborn Trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. If you've seen my reviews of The Final Empire and The Well of Ascension, then you will know that I'm obviously a big fan of this series. And just fair warning, if you've not read those two books, the previous two books, then there will be spoilers in this review of those, but obviously not for this third one, because that would be really stupid. So at the end of The Well of Ascension, obviously quite a lot happens. It's all quite dramatic right at the end, and it's quite confused as well. So basically what's happened is there has been a vast, powerful entity named Ruin trapped in the Well of Ascension for the entire of the Lord Ruler's reign, and because of some subtle workings of physical reality, Ruin has managed to manipulate his way free of his prison, mainly through Vin and her perception of what was in there. Vin has accidentally loosed the worst, most deadly, evil entity on the world, which is obviously quite a lot to deal with. She almost lost Ellen Venture, but then she was prompted by a curious mist creature to feed him a piece of metal, and that turned him into a Mistborn. So Ellen is now a Mistborn. She also won the entire empire for him. She displayed her powers rather viciously and demonstratively, and has basically declared him emperor. So there's now a Mistborn pair pretty much ruling the world, and it's not a great time to be rulers because obviously things are being destroyed left, right and centre, and the deepness is back. The deepness that the Lord Ruler was rumoured to once have defeated in legend. It's not gone well for them so far, but this is obviously the concluding book, so we can expect a lot of it to be resolved, hopefully. So Ellen and Vin are, in this book, travelling with an army. They're going to loads of different places because they're searching for the atium that the Lord Ruler hid somewhere. They need it because it's basically the most valuable thing in the entire world, and it will really consolidate their power, so it's just valuable on more than one level. You get to see a little bit more of the world, quite a lot more actually, different settings in this book. What I really liked about this part of the book is how well it showcased Ellen's, not transformation I don't think, but growth into the emperor that he kind of always had to be, or could have always been. He becomes a lot more forceful and commanding, and he seems to have a lot more self-belief in this book, which is, I think, a really good change. It sort of showcases the rightness of Vin's faith in him as well. I mean, she loved him when he was idealistic and slightly naive and a little bit young, but obviously, you know, she was right to, because she saw all of this potential that he had in himself. Sazed in this book is obviously absolutely distraught because of what happened in the battle at the end of book 2. He has basically lost the woman that he loved, and he's having a massive crisis of faith. Because obviously he's so concerned with his collection of religions, he sort of looks through all of them seeking some sort of consolation, perhaps looking for proof of divine intervention or a deeper meaning to the events of the world. And this crisis of faith, it really fills him out as a character, I think. It really shows how much depth there is to him. There is a lot of general progression of all of the characters in this book, and it shows, again, a real level of skill on Sanderson's part to make them so engaging and so memorable, and to make you just care about the characters. I mean, you know in the back of your mind that they're not real, but they feel real to you as you're reading. So a lot of that comes to the forefront. This book obviously also starts to really flesh out the overarching plot of the trilogy concerning ruin and preservation. You understand that a lot more, and obviously that's really exciting and interesting to figure out. You understand a little bit more about how the Inquisitors have been used, and how Ruin had manipulated the world from his prison, and that's all really interesting. And there's just a whole lot going on. But what I really want to say about this novel is is pretty much concerning the second half, where everything sort of falls into place. I wonder if any of you have ever been faced with a problem or a riddle or a puzzle of some kind and thought about it for a really long time, just sat there staring, trying to work it out, and then suddenly in 2 or 3 seconds your mind just sort of twists and you get this one thought that changes your entire perspective, and the entire puzzle just becomes completely clear in your mind, and everything just seems to sort of slip just fractionally into place, and you get this moment of clarity. That's pretty much what happens in the second half of this book. Not just once, but over and over again in a cascade of realisation. Things get explained, you're given tiny pieces of information which strip the shadows away from all of the other things that you've been wondering about. Just things happen, and reading it is an ever-growing series of, oh my god, I can't believe I didn't see that, or ah, that's so interesting and clever, oh my god, that's been set up for so long, and oh my god, no, that's not what I thought was going to happen, but it did happen. So I'm making a fool of myself, but honestly, that's what it's like. It's the only way I can describe it. It just shows how incredibly well thought out the entire trilogy has been, and it also shows how easily Sanderson manipulates us as readers into knowing exactly how much he wants us to know about the world and about the book. He slides in that one tiny piece of information that has been deliberately withheld from us, knowing that it will make everything become clear, and he's almost sadistic in his skill at doing it. It's just incredibly, incredibly well done. And that, I think, is the thing that makes this book 10 out of 10 for me. It's just such an incredible demonstration of skill and restraint on his part. So, super well done. This book is just a revelation, and if you've read the first 2, I don't know why you wouldn't want to read the third, but if you need any encouragement at all, then here it is, read the third. And if you're watching this review and you haven't read the first 2 for some reason, read them anyway. That's all I can say, to be honest. If you have any questions or comments, then leave them below or message me on Twitter, and like, share and subscribe. There'll be more videos coming soon.